1:31, so we're gonna call the roll.
Russ Rose, Chair. Scott Treese. Here. Kevin Nuss. Jim Silliman.
Here.
Keith Griffey. Arthur Jones.
Here.
Scott Fleming. Mike Heitschuh.
Here.
Mayor Larry Dangerfield.
Here.
Jordan Basham.
Right here.
Right on time. Nicole Ruffalo. Let's see, Deputy Judge Executive John Park. Pat Hardigan. Pete Hedges. Steve Eden. Scott Bates, Judge here, there's a good. Jonathan Bates.
Here.
We got Jody Bramlett.
Here.
Judge Executive, David Bollinger. Judge Executive John Ogburn. Neil Martindale.
Here.
Jim Hoskins.
Here.
Mark Bates. And Terry Roach.
John, right here.
What's that?
Did you get John?
John is here.
Yes.
Here. Yep.
Judge.
Perfect.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you so much. And before you and Justin already sent these out as well, the minutes from our January 13th meeting. If you've had an opportunity to look over those, we would accept a motion to approve the minutes from January. So we have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Any further discussions, additions, corrections?
They changed Haley's name from Natalie.
Yes, sir.
Already covered that.
I know who she is. I don't know how that got.
With the approved change. All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Minutes carried. And first up is Debbie's here, and she's gonna give us an update on what's going on, what's new at KI.
Lots of stuff going on. So SRF projects have been scored and entered. KIA is now working on the draft of the IUP. We anticipate early June for the draft to be released. This year, we have approximately 110 to 120 million dollars in clean water. And in drinking, we have approximately 75 to 80. Now, that is keeping in mind earmarks will come off of that. We currently have 50 million in lead service line. So if you have a lead service line, you have a lead service line project. We need to talk
Oh,
after.
you're gonna say problem.
I have an idea for you.
Yeah, I need to talk to you after this.
Yeah, let's talk. So guys, we had 431 projects submitted for SRF funding. If that does not tell you that there's a need in the state of Kentucky, I don't think that nothing will. There's a lot going on in session right now. And so Jeremy Skinner at KIA, he keeps us up to date on all the House bills and stuff. So I got a report from him right before I left. House Bill 500, the executive branch budget bill, passed both the House and the Senate. The governor issued a line item veto, but none of those included any of the things for KIA. The budget currently includes less general fund money for KIA than the private budget, than the prior budget, and does not appear to include any additional funding for the Fund B. So that will be less funds for us. It currently requires, there is some stipulations with the ads. I think there were some special reporting that we're looking at. Keep in mind, this stuff is still pending. House Bill 900, appropriations bill transferring 1.7 billion from the reserve fund to various state agencies, including KIA. The bill was signed by the governor, so it is final. House Bill 651 is the changes for the Kentucky Waters Program. And speaking of which, Kentucky Waters did get refunded. We got 45 million in the next two years for a total of 90 million for the biennial. Now, the changes in the waters, I think, there's still some work going on there, but that's gonna be primarily the gist of that is it's gonna go from having one criteria to 3. So that's pretty much the gist of that House bill. And that's pretty much everything going on at KIA. We do have, you know, in those line items, I think, ordinance, if it KIPDA has got some. So, right now, I don't have the information. Those funds will be available until July 1st. But be in contact with me, let's, we'll get those moving.
Yeah.
For you.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions? I know I went through a lot. Does anybody online have any questions for me?
The applications for Kentucky Water,
Mhm.
the water program from last cycle,
Mhm.
have they been pushed through or what
That
is the status?
That is still. I have that. I think that was, let's see here. I think it's approved by the House, but not the Senate.
Okay.
It's not, I think we're looking for it probably today or tomorrow to be looked at.
Thank you.
Yeah. That was the one thing that was still pending. That was it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions? Yes.
You said 50 million for lead. Do you know what the total request amount was that you all are trying to sift through statewide?
No, I don't, but I can get that.
Just curious.
Yeah.
Okay, and then have you all replaced Natalie Lyle or
They actually interviewed this past week
Okay.
and they are looking to have a new one on staff by May 16th,
when did she leave? How long was it?
January.
Okay.
Yeah. It was at the end of the year, end of the calendar year. And I know what you're talking about and we need to talk about that. So, okay,
All right, perfect.
all right, thanks guys.
Thanks, Debbie.
Appreciate it. All right, we'll be a busy couple of days in Frankfurt today and tomorrow, so as things wrap up. So next up, we're fortunate, Joe Burns is here. He drove up from Bowling Green this morning to be with us.
I was gonna say, I need to run,
Okay,
take a break.
all right,
Let's see, Eileen will go.
Yeah. yeah, sure. Eileen, if you don't mind, we'll have her, is she online?
He's online.
Yeah,
Okay.
hi.
Lead testing in schools?
Yeah.
Perfect.
No, Justin, you want me to share my screen with presentation or do you guys split up there? I don't know what works best for you all.
It's up to them. She can share it if she wants to. We'll just change settings real quick.
Sure, yeah, that worked fine for us if you wanted to share your screen, Eileen.
Whatever is easiest, let me figure out how to get it up here.
Okay.
I bring it up if she has a problem with it.
Oh, it says I cannot share. Can send a request.
There you go.
There we go. Now she should be able to share.
Okay. Perfect. Mhm. See if that's working. Okay.
Yeah,
Do you guys see it?
You can see
we
it?
can see it. We're all good.
Perfect. Okay, well, I have to look now at my other screen, so you guys are gonna see the side of my head. If you're looking at my video, I apologize for that. Well, hi, good afternoon, everybody. I'm sorry I couldn't join you guys in person. I had something come up and fortunately had to stay in the office today, but I'm excited to talk to you guys about this program. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. If anybody has any questions, just let me know. So I'm here, like they said, to talk to you guys today about the Kentucky's Division of Water voluntary lead testing in schools and childcare programs. So this is, a program that provides free lead sampling of drinking water to public schools and licensed childcares built before 2014. We also now have funding available to assist those schools and childcares with remediation, meaning if lead is found in their drinking water, we do have funding to help them do some kind of remediation, whether that's a fixture replacement, like replacing a faucet, doing some plumbing repairs, installing filters, whatever it might be based on their results and works best for their facility. We have the funding available to assist with that as well. We do like to tell everybody that we have plenty of funding, but it won't be around forever. There is a time limit of when these funds expire. So we want to encourage everyone to sign up sooner rather than later. All of our funds are also available right now on a first come, first served basis. So if a school or childcare signs up, the sooner they sign up, then the more likelihood they are to get the funding. And then important for all the water systems in the room, this sampling can be used for LCRI compliance. So for those of you that are not aware, there is the requirement for water systems to offer lead sampling at schools and childcares that will start next year when the LCRI goes into effect. If a school or childcare gets sampled under our program, then that facility will be on a waiver, meaning that the water system will not have to sample at that school or childcare or offer to sample there, send any information to them during that first 5 years of compliance. So it's a really great win-win for everybody. So help us help you. If you can talk to your schools and childcares about signing up for this program, it will help us to expand our program. It'll help water systems out there have one less thing to do with the LCRI. If you're not familiar, there's a whole bucket list of things that you will have to do when it goes into effect in 2027. So this will just help take one of those off of your plate. And then also it's great for the schools and childcares in your area because we do have the funding to help them assist with remediation if necessary. So I did want to talk to you guys about some common concerns and questions that we get from facilities. First is, we all associate lead being, done in the 60s or maybe even the 80s. And so a lot of people will say, my facility's newer. Why do we say before 2014? Do we really need to be concerned if my school or my childcare was built in, the 1990s? And what we like to let people know is that the concern here is the internal plumbing of the facility, and the internal plumbing lead content rule didn't actually change until 2014. So even though in 1988 we said, hey, we're not using lead anymore, no lead service lines, no lead plumbing, no lead in our fixtures, everything has to be lead free. What we said, the definition of that was 8%, meaning like your kitchen faucet could have 8% of lead in the material that actually touches the water. And it wasn't until 2014 that we actually reduced that until down to 0.25%. So it's a pretty big difference if you're talking about a lot of faucets that are used for drinking, especially with younger children. So that's why we kind of let people know that the rule goes with 2014 specifically for schools and childcares versus everything that we talk about for service lines being, 1988. Another big concern is what if lead is found in my facility? So it's always better to identify it now and fix the problem as soon as you can for public health. But also, if you find it now, our program has money to help you fix the problem. Whereas if you do identify it later or on your own, there might not be funding around to help you fix that problem. And is this going to be required for my facility to participate? Currently, there's no regulations in Kentucky for schools or childcares to have their drinking water specifically tested for lead. When the upcoming LCRI goes into effect, water systems will be required to offer sampling for those schools and childcares. But I do want to make sure everyone's aware that the schools and childcares still have the option to decline, even when it's mandatory for the water systems to offer. And so this is all completely voluntary. They can sign up, they can change their mind at any time. But right now there's no regulations in Kentucky, or as far as I'm aware, even being talked about for this specific requirement. So I wanted to give you guys a current snapshot. Sorry, I don't know why this is all coming in individually. Of your area specifically in KIPDA. These are all the facilities we currently have signed up for the program. So I've broken it up by county. So hopefully that helps you kind of see some facilities that have been sampled in your area. Not all of these have been sampled yet, but they have officially signed up. One of the recent ones here, if you're from Bullitt County Public Schools just signed up. So that's all the schools in their district just signed up for the program. And we haven't started sampling there yet, but we have talked to them and we confirmed they're interested. So most likely that'll be probably this fall before we get to them with the school year. But we do have at least one facility in each of your guys' counties. So that's great news for the area. But I just wanted to show you because I know I get a lot of questions about if there's been sampling or if places have been signed up in your area. So I'll leave that there for just a second if anybody needs to still look at it. And you can also find all the results. If you have a facility listed here, you can find the results on our website, which I'll show here at the end, have the link and a QR code for you to get to our website. If your facility has been sampled, their results will be on our website if you're interested. A current program snapshot. So this is our results. This is as of January 30th. I haven't updated these numbers. We have gotten a lot more results in recently, but I just wanted to show you guys so you have an idea of what we're seeing across the state. This is not just for those counties I showed you. This is for everything in the program. We have received results for 170 facilities, which is just over 1,600 individual faucets that have been tested. Of those, 79%, it's really great. Kentucky's looking great compared to a lot of states, is below 1 parts per billion. So we love to see that. What we don't love to see is the 1%, those 25 samples that were above 15 parts per billion, including our highest lead level of 691 parts per billion. Below that, the 691 is a little bit of an outlier. Below that, the next highest is like 168, I think. So it's definitely way out there, but we have had a few that have been pretty high. I like to tell you guys this to know that it's very random. We see usually like one outlet in a facility, not the entire facility having problems, just one or two, maybe a fountain here or a kitchen sink here. And so I like to let you guys know if your water system, because if you do this on your own, just be prepared for when you do find a sample like that. The first questions you're going to get is, how bad is this? What do I need to do? How can I fix this? And so just be prepared for that. If you are a water system that's already been doing sampling in preparation for LCRI at schools and childcares, if you do get a high result, you can send them to our program. We will have to resample, but then they would be eligible for the remediation fund. So if you've already tested some places and you know somewhere that might have a problem, feel free to send them our way and we can help get them some funding to fix it. And then this is just if you're interested in more information, that QR code or that link will take you to our website. Again, you can find information about the program. There's also a link for schools and childcares to sign up for the program and the results for all of the facilities that we've tested. You can also contact myself or Gabriel Tanner directly. I think a lot of you are familiar with Gabe. He's the TA for some of your guys' regions. If your water system, he's the other coordinator for this program. So you can reach out to him directly or myself. And we're happy to give you more information or talk to if you talk to a school or childcare and you just want to give them our contact information. If they have follow-up questions, they can call us directly instead of going back and forth with you if that's something you are interested in. And that's all I have. Does anyone have any questions?
Ally, for sampling in the schools that you all are doing, are you getting the sample, or is it like, will we do it for homeowners? The homeowner has to get the sample, so will we be required to go in and get that sample, or will the school be required to do that?
Nope. So we have a contract right now with Kentucky Rural Water. Actually, Joe in the room there, and his team actually go out and take the samples for us. So once the school signs up, we'll talk with them and work out a time and coordinate and come actually take the samples ourselves. Then we'll take them to the state lab in Frankfurt and they will do the analysis. And then we will send the school the report with their results. So for the water system, the only requirement from you is to get them to sign up. Once they sign up, you don't have to do anything. If you want to be involved in any way, like if you have a good relationship with your schools or a childcare and you want to stay involved, you're absolutely welcome to come with us during the sampling or be a part of any meetings we have with them. We have no problem with that. You just have to let us know in advance, but
What
Um,
about time of
yeah.
year? Is there a specific time of year that you all are doing it, or is it pretty much year round right now?
So it's pretty much year round, with the caveat that because of the sampling requirements where the water has to be used and has to meet the stagnation period of 8 to 18 hours, for schools, we don't sample during the summer months just because they have those extended closure periods. School can still sign up during the summer. We can come out and do what we call an inventory, which is where we will look at their facility, make sure which outlets we need to sample. We take pictures so that on their report, they can tell the difference between drinking fountain 1 and drinking fountain 2. And then we'll come out and do sampling separately. So we can get them ready and then sample in the fall if they are interested and want to sign up, over the next couple months. We're getting into summer, so they can still sign up. It's year round for that. But if they're closed during the summer for extended periods of time, we won't sample then. But they can sign up at any time though.
Got why I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay. Other questions for Eileen?
Can we get these slides?
Sure.
She sent them to me, I can forward them to our council.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, well, thank you so much for being here today.
No, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. And if you guys need anything, feel free to reach out anytime.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Eileen.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna bring Joe up. So Joe's gonna talk a little bit about KY Warren, and some of you are very familiar with KY Warren, but we kind of have had a resurgence of that recently, and I don't want to steal Joe's thunder. I'll let you.
All right, thanks for the invitation, Russ.
Yeah.
It's really good to be here. It's been many years since I've been up here to your meetings, so
Glad to have you back.
glad to be able to see everyone. So yes, we're gonna go through Kentucky Warren. Each time do we have, I think there's like 60 slides. Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. It works.
Good man.
I'm sooner than I thought.
Got AI burning.
That's it. Okay, so. These don't seem to be in sequence. Is this all the?
Arthur's already cut your slides.
It's over now.
Fixed it already.
Arthur, did you get a hold
No,
of this
hey.
presentation?
No, I think
I know what I came.
That's okay. This is, a presentation was emailed to me, so I believe some of these slides are hidden. So it'll be very short.
Yeah.
That's all right. Okay, so I guess we're starting out with, some of the disasters that we had. This earlier that same year, the end of 21, we had, the Western Kentucky tornadoes. Rolled right into some straight line winds, little winter crash. Then we had these floods. This event was I guess the largest scale true mutual aid, where we called upon, well, I didn't have to call much. Most utilities were calling me asking how can we help? So with that, I think in the end, we had 30 plus utilities that deployed in some form or fashion. Some were nearby and drove over for the day and worked every day for 30 days. There were others, like Russ, his crew, they lived in a camper with us for about 30 days, parked in downtown Hazard. Yeah. So it was quite a mix of response. Prior to that, the response would have been, so let's say extreme winter weather, a lot of line breaks. We may have had to call 1 or 2 utilities to come and assist, but this was by far the largest response we have ever had. Unlike those, our neighbors down the coast with the hurricanes, they have mutual aid, it seems like every year. So, some of the lessons learned just from the flood experience, update, exercise your emergency response plan. Now, This kind of gives me a good segue into this. This is the year for your OEA 5-year updates. If we've forgotten, your risk and resilience certification by June 30th this year, and your ERP certification submitted by December 31st. So if you need help with either one of those, we have staff that'll be glad to come out and give you a hand. Have a mutual aid agreement on file. GIS-based asset inventory, invaluable after a disaster, let me tell you. And I can tell you just from earlier this year with little ice storm that we had, we were at a utility that had GIS and needed to find a valve, and guess what? They didn't get around to GPSing all their valves. So there was no finding it under 6 inches of ice. Or in these disasters, power is certainly a major factor in us delivering water. A lot of people requesting generators. Biggest thing with that is know power requirements in your facility, so that when you call your county emergency manager, you know exactly what type of generator, what size to request. I would recommend, install permanent ones at major facilities and rely on mobile for the rest of your system. For those that aren't going to have a permanent generator, have a transfer switch installed. Make it quick, easy, and safe to connect those. Make sure if you're going to go to a rental company that you already have a credit app on file with them, so that you can just go directly, rent it, and not have paperwork that you have to, that's going to slow you down. Now, this other one, if any of you have ever been through one of these, your system's been through one, there's nothing like a disaster to drain your bank account. And you will feel the effects of it for years. And develop and practice a response plan. You want something quick and easy you can do? Turn off your SCADA for a day or two and say, how do we operate? That's a quick and easy one anybody can do. Okay, so through all this, WARN was created, I think around 2009, with the Western Kentucky ice storms. And we're structured with a steering committee that represents each of the 10 emergency management regions in the state. So we went for several years with the steering committee, and people, started retiring out. We got some replacements. They couldn't really participate, and the steering committee side kind of fell to the wayside. And it was just me and a couple others that, Russ in particular, that during disasters, we put on our Kentucky WARN hat, kept the name going, and continue to do the same thing. The WARN network is a larger scale of what you all have done for forever when somebody has a problem. That means typically you go to your neighbor, like, hey, I need a penny, I don't have the size, I know somebody's got it, we go borrow it. Larger scale, when something happens in the region, you don't have that luxury of going to your neighbor. So how do we make that work? And this is going out statewide. So earlier this year, last year rather, Pete Goodman and I with Louisville Water got together, and it's like, kind of like the Blues Brothers, we need to get the band back together, So that's what we did. We ended up communicating with everyone. We actually did an online election for the steering committee. They met, they elected officers. You see here, we have I don't have the officer assistants.
Okay.
Darren Thompson is the president and Russ is the vice. So for your region up here, each one on the steering committee represents their region. So Russ would be the representative for this region. So our path forward, for Kentucky Warren, we started out, in November, began, holding some, disaster preparedness workshops. We did this in 3 areas across the state, kind of targeting areas that, have, had storm damage and such. Madisonville, some in central Kentucky, and then Prestonsburg is where we held the final. But we covered, disaster planning, mutual aid agreements, and this becomes very important in a federally declared disaster. And that is your ability to recover losses through FEMA. This is where you need that mutual aid agreement. So in those scale disasters, if you need help, and you call on a utility to come help you, the first thing they're gonna ask is, you have a mutual aid agreement? Because it's a reciprocal agreement. They are gonna send you a bill at the end of it. And you'll pay that. FEMA doesn't advance anybody any money. They're a reimbursement agency. And then you will recover from FEMA, but you have to have that agreement. KLC, after the 2022 flood, they saw a need after working with a lot of municipals, to draft a new mutual aid agreement that covers just a large variety. What they were finding is that different parts of the local government had different mutual aid agreements. So it was like the fire department had their own, water and wastewater had the Kentucky Warren agreement. So they crafted a whole new statewide agreement, and this is what is now on the Kentucky Warren website. It's kywarren.org. And that is the agreement. If anyone is not a member of Kentucky Warren, go there, download that to participate. I don't know if we already covered WIA. So got the mutual aid agreement. We are working on developing a new operational plan for Kentucky Warren, working with the Kentucky Association of Mitigation Managers, and then collaborating with emergency management at the state level and Division of Water. Now, there are, let's see, how many of the room participated in the flood response? I know there's a few here.
I mean,
You did personally.
I personally did not, but MSD did.
MSD did. I recognize them as well. Yeah, that in fact was the flood, is the tornado.
I feel like we did both, but
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Well, okay.
Definitely.
I know the tornado for sure. I know they rode generators to Western Kentucky on a Sunday. So. Does anyone have any questions about anything?
Are notices being sent out for the updates to the utilities?
Yes, that is.
They're getting something to show.
Yes, we have been doing, some advertising through our e-news, but we have plans to send out formal, emails and.
We're gonna have a new survey out,
A new
so
survey, yes.
it's gonna be, easily accessible on your phone or computer, where you're gonna be able to go in and tell what kind of, resources that you have at your utility, what you have available. So you can talk about, what kind of generators you might have to be available for others, what type of equipment, backhoes, excavators, dump trucks, and then even all the way down to inventory. So, a lot of people have, we'll just say common sizes from 3/4 inch up to 12 inch, but when you start talking about 14 inches an odd size, or you start talking, or 15, and you start talking about 30 and 36-inch pipe diameters, not a lot of people stock those parts. So this new survey will collect that. So once that gets totally finalized, I'll make sure to send a link to that to Justin, then he can push it out to everybody here as well. But this is gonna be a good thing. go ahead, get your mutual aid agreement, approved. You know, become a member of Warren. If, you're not committing to anything by getting that mutual aid agreement approved. You're just saying if you ever need it, it's already done, it's there.
Yeah.
You're not, by telling what resources you have, you're not committing, that you're saying, I'm gonna send a generator. You may need it more than the place that's requesting one. So, you know, that happens quite often when we're looking for one, Joe's looking for one, he's calling around, and somebody says, well, I got one, but right now, we're having trouble of our own, we really don't feel like we can get rid of that, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that, you can politely decline if somebody calls and asks for some resources, but it's a great thing. Joe mentioned it, we've done it for years, we've just never had an official way to do it. And if you don't have this official document, then you're not gonna get, you don't have a chance to get reimbursed for that. So.
Yep.
What about
So it doesn't create a duty to respond at all. So especially if you are a smaller utility, small staff, like many of them are, you should definitely join the people.
Sure.
Right.
So if you had joined before, like years ago, do you need to go update anything now?
That's what we're,
Okay.
so that's one of the first, we did, you kind of to your point. So those that are current members of Warren, we did email them directly about the new mutual aid agreement. And then we're gonna, then it's on the website, KY1.org, go there. There's an information application that you can fill out. You sign the mutual aid agreement, and then the inventory will come around.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you making the trip up here today.
Glad to do it. Glad to see everybody.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
This was
Okay, just,
Let's see, we got one water project that we need council approval on today.
okay,
This is one. That is for West Shelby Water District, Shelby County. What we did is we merged a lot of their asbestos cement AC line replacement projects into one profile. And then we combined that with a water storage tank project that we're gonna be applying Fund B funding for them for. Working with John Brady and my friends at KIA on that. So the total project cost for that is $2,501,000. Like I said, it includes the rehab of an existing 250,000 gallon elevated water storage tank. And it's gonna replace the approximately 9,800 linear feet of 6-inch AC water lines. Don't preach to the choir, but I knows why AC lines need to be replaced. That's just a big project. With Simpsonville, and what happened was they're doing Steve Eden got a grant to do a big sidewalk project for the city of Simpsonville. And instead of do brand new sidewalks and then go through, have to dig up those sidewalks to get to the AC lines, I said, let's just try to get this thing funded as soon as we can, and do it simultaneously. So we're applying for Fund B, should be going before the KIA board here, I think in June, for approval, and we just need to get council approval on this project today, so we can get the mapping, Ryan Lloyd can get the mapping created and checked in with them ASAP, so. Any questions about this project at all? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to approve this project from the council.
Motion.
Motion, can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Arthur, thank you, Mayor. All in favor? All right, got that one approved. And like I said, that's the only one that we have this quarter, so kind of anomaly, usually we have quite a few, that's nice. But thank you, council.
all right.
I don't have much,
Anything else on
I
your
guess
report?
cleaner water, gonna be beating y'all over the head with that here, rounding the bend. Third, down the stretch we come here, we gotta get this, Debbie, just not drive her crazy here, I think if we can get everything squared away by August, latest September, I think you'd be a happy camper with that. All right, get you nicest, the sleeping bag that you can have for that. So we really need to get that taken care of, folks. Like I said, we are the only region in the entire state that has got all of the funding, every dollar, cleaner water. And we've been working with Louisville Water here a lot to get a lot of reallocations and Bullitt and Oldham. So we're getting that taken care of. And just if you know who you are, not calling out anybody, but if you got any projects that are still outstanding and you need cleaner water funds, come see me or I'll be coming to knock your door down because we're getting those. No, I don't want to get any money back. We need to spend that because I know we have a need. So cleaner water is a big priority. I'll be hitting that hard after our system visits. I've come around pretty much. Ryan, Lloyd, and I have come around about 80% of y'all to get all that. And just to reiterate, KRWA, we did have that compensation survey that I went over with you all. I know some of you, I left that with you, so I'll be circling back to try to get that as well. But I appreciate you all filling out that compensation survey. And then what else do we have? Oh, we're doing in last January we had Bluegrass ad here. Our counterparts from Bluegrass showed that rate book that they put together that's going to go online. So I'm also asking some more questions to get some more information about your all's rate structures, ordinances. I appreciate you all being very accommodating and getting me that information. I know that was a little bit of a lift too to get that. So I'll be circling back if there's any more information that I needed to get from our system visits that I didn't get from you all about that. But thank you all for getting all that information put together for me for that. We'll be looking and doing that sometime this summer or fall to get that online, working with them to get that's through GIS, our GIS online with Esri. We'll be working on a template to get that all taken care of. So you all will be able to go online. And I know last time Stephanie, I think Laughlin with MSD was asking how, or maybe it was you, Nicole, how that historic data, how we can house that on there. Or Bluegrass said that they were interested in that too. So moving forward, we'll be looking to do housing that on there too, so we can look at the trends or whatnot over time. That'd be very helpful for us. So system visits, wrapping up, cleaner water this summer, hitting you hard with that. And then that's all I really got, Chairman.
All right, thank you so much.
Listen, I did have one more thing to provide to introduce. This is Cinnamon Jones. She is our newest KIA employee, and she is going to be the person that you call when you have Kentucky Waters questions, okay?
Awesome, okay.
And one other thing I didn't forget, our 50th year of local issues is this year, and our local issues conference is August the 19th through the 21st.
Awesome.
Where
That's
is
all.
that issue?
It's at the golf house. Yeah.
Thank you, Debbie. Cinnamon was great last year too. I know you were helping Rick a little bit. Is Rick still around or is he?
Yes.
He is, okay. Gotcha.
She is
Well,
an
congratulations.
employee now.
Congratulations. You were very helpful last year with the application. So thank you for being here. We look forward to working with you on our Kentucky W Waters. So you said that we should know after the Senate in the next day or so, hopefully.
Yeah,
on
we should know something soon
Okay.
about the projects.
Wonderful. We had quite a few in our region that were fingers crossed on, so thank you very
The
much.
list, now Sandy did say the list is available, I think on the LRC's website, is that what she said this morning? I think the list is already on the.
Okay,
It's a draft, of course, but that's what that's what I'll be voting.
gotcha. Well, thank you for being here and actually we have Dawn with KIA back there as well. You have any updates for us in your wheelhouse there?
Get those system visits done. I'll have your semi-annual review on there soon.
Okay, can't wait. Thank you, sir. We really appreciate all you all do. You're great help and I know you got a lot on your plate, so thank you for being here today.
Okay, anybody else have any updates to bring up? Any information, any new business? Kentucky Rural Water Expo, May 13th, 14th, coming up, Glendale again, so. Anybody else?
Hey Russ, continue
Yes.
to, this is Judge Ogburn. Everybody continue to remember Scott Travis and his family. He lost his son last week, I believe, and so I'm sure they need all the prayers that we can give them.
Thank you, Judge. Okay. Anybody else? Well, thank you, everybody, and, we'll accept the motion to adjourn.
Oh,
And this Arthur in a second. Everybody in favor can get up. Thanks.
Thank you all. 45 minutes of that.
Okay, Rose.